Michelle Imperato on WESH 2 News. News is everywhere. Stories about Central Florida and its people waiting to be told. There's news that slowly takes shape and news that develops by the minute. See it nightly at 4, 5, and 6 on WESH 2 News.
Changes are happening
We're
over
watching
the
the
weekend.
skies.
Every day, we fine-tune the forecast, search for the sunshine, chase storms. Every day, weather stories live to be told, and we're here to tell them. WESH 2 First Alert Weather.
Breaking right now, 2 school buses have collided in Osceola County. It's happening Simpson Road and Myers Road. We've got details coming up. A viewer sent us this picture. We are told both buses are from Toho High School and 75 students are on board that bus. We will have more details coming out of Osceola County as soon as we get more information, but we're told no one was hurt.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
Right now, parts of Puerto Rico are dealing with devastation after yet another big earthquake hit overnight.
Yeah, it happened on the island this morning, and hours later, aftershocks are still happening. There have actually been at least 24 aftershocks since the 6.4 magnitude quake this morning. Now, at least 1 person is dead. There's some damage to roads and bridges, especially in the southwestern region, and people across this island are without power right now. Our team has been in touch with those people. They are organizing relief efforts for the people who are most impacted.
But we want to start with WESH 2's Paul Rivera, who has family on the island and spoke with them as they try and deal with the aftermath.
It's something that pretty much all of Puerto Rico has had to deal with today. They have described the ground continuing to shake. Today I spoke with my family members as well as someone with Central Florida ties who also talked about the damage.
Pues mira, ¿cómo están las cosas con ustedes?
In a call with my aunt who lives in Ponce, Puerto Rico, she explains some of what they've been going through after a reported 6.4 magnitude quake on the island. She was evacuated from her building due to some damage. For the second day now, some towns in the southwest part of Puerto Rico have seen destruction after earthquakes that seemingly don't stop. Officials have reported a death, electricity has gone out, and communication has been a challenge. My cousin in the town of Mayagüez telling me today has been terrible. When the earthquakes hit, she says you don't know what to do. She says the damage to infrastructure like bridges haven't allowed them to visit other areas and other relatives. We also spoke with Bianca Sanchez, a former UCF student, who described their situation.
My bed shook, doors were shaking, all the neighbors came out, they were just checking up on each other. I don't think the island was prepared itself for a quake like this, but I think people are taking the situation more seriously.
Sanchez, like many others, saying they are bracing for the next one. And my relatives, like many, just hoping for some peace. Reporting for WESH 2 News, I'm Paul Rivera.
Many of the people on the island are still picking up after the significant damage caused by Hurricane Maria.
WESH 2's Dave McDaniel looks at one group who's working to gauge what will be needed to help and when it will do the most good. Now, the group is reaching out to families that offered rooms or even a couch to sleep on after Maria to see if they can offer some similar help again.
Help needed all over the island as people are still feeling aftershocks in Puerto Rico as well.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get you over to Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi. So, Tony, they just can't catch a break.
You know, you get a 6.4 this morning, you had a 5.8 yesterday. And what we're looking at is a bunch of the aftershocks here in the southwestern portion there of the island. There's Ponce right there, so you can see, of course, San Juan's on the northeast side. So we'll continue to watch this very, very carefully there. Thankfully, there isn't any active weather this time of the year, so we do have that going up for cleanup efforts and for search and rescue efforts that are ongoing there as of right now. Tower Cam Network right now shows we do have a front that's going to be dropping on in. Notice the winds here west at about 15 miles an hour. Strong flow aloft will continue to bring in another cool front tonight. What that's going to do is to kind of freshen up our temperatures. It was nice and comfortable today. We jumped up into the lower 70s. 70s. However, with another front coming in tonight on strong west-northwest winds for the time being, we'll see the winds subside. There's the front coming on through right around 11 o'clock tonight. Behind it, as we head out the door tomorrow morning, we're talking about cool temperatures, 47 here in town with 30s north and west, and the risk for another morning with some patchy frost. We'll talk more about that straight ahead.
All right, Tony, thanks. Breaking news on the impeachment front. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he has enough Republican votes to start the trial without witnesses. This means that once House Speaker Nancy Pelosi transfers the 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump, the trial would begin. The question of whether witnesses would be called would be dealt with later in the trial.
Jim, thank you. The heart of downtown Kissimmee was locked down today, and the bomb squad called in all because of a suspicious device.
It turned out to be a hoax that came with a threatening note. An arrest could now follow. WESH 2 News reporter Greg Fox brings us the latest from Osceola County.
Things are getting pretty much back to normal in downtown Kissimmee after several streets were closed and City Hall was evacuated Tuesday morning. Chopper 2 was above downtown Kissimmee as a safe zone was created around City Hall. Police say a worker entered a secure door not generally opened as a public entrance, and on the other side saw on the floor a 1-foot by 2-foot plastic container with a threatening note on top.
The ones that you would buy the kitty litter. It's a plastic container about that wide, about a foot deep, maybe about a foot wide.
And all the employees had to move from the City Hall.
Melissa Zayas Moreno was one of the more than 100 employees and members of the public evacuated from the building.
So obviously when we have a fire alarm go off, everyone knows what is the drill of where they have to go. After we did go back to our safety place, just to make sure that everyone was okay, is when we did receive a message that there was a suspicious package.
Police closed the streets in a 4-square block area and called the bomb squad to investigate. Detectives found clues that led them to a person that's had previous run-ins with officers.
We located a person of interest that was in relation to this that might have placed this item. The person stated that there was 2 dead rats in there. It was confirmed by the bomb squad x-raying the device and made the all clear, and then we started opening up.
Police lowered the caution tape and, with the building deemed safe, allowed everyone to go back inside shortly before noon. The entire incident that shut down Kissimmee City Hall lasted 3 hours. In Osceola County, Greg Fox, WESH 2 News.
Police are questioning the person of interest in this case to determine any potential charges. They would not say if the person is a former city employee. Meantime, Orange County deputies want to find this man. They say he intentionally rammed into another car on the 417 last night near the Curry Ford Road exit. Deputies say he then got out and punched the driver multiple times, knocking him to the ground and robbing him. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Line.
Also in Orange County, a 21-year-old man is dead after a crash involving a semi. Troopers tell us Dimitri Deed was killed when he was rear-ended by the truck early this morning. Now, this was at John Young Parkway and Sand Lake Road. The semi was stopped at a red light. That driver was not hurt. Troopers say Deed had just fled the scene of a hit and run before the deadly crash.
A Kissimmee officer who has been in trouble for his behavior on the job is now facing a charge for his alleged actions off the job. Antonio Johnson was arrested by St. Cloud Police Sunday. His pregnant girlfriend called 911 saying they got into a fight. According to the report, she told officers Johnson pulled her down by her hair and pinned her to the bed. She also said he covered her mouth when she started crying and threw her phone at the floor. Johnson was the subject of an internal investigation a year ago. When he placed handcuffs on some students at a charter school, he said it was to teach them the seriousness of breaking the law or school rules. The chief concluded Johnson's actions were not appropriate. He'll be arraigned in a few weeks on a charge of simple battery on a pregnant woman.
Several firearms were recovered from a stolen vehicle in the parking lot of an Orlando nightclub. Orlando police tell us they found several firearms and a tactical vest inside the car at the Rum Jungle nightclub on International Drive. Officers say the vest was stolen from a patrol vehicle last year. Several drugs were also found. Both suspects were arrested. Police are now working to determine whether the guns were also stolen. Right now, we're following some breaking news. 2 school buses have collided in Osceola County. It is happening on Simpson Road and Myers Road. A viewer actually sent us this picture. We're told both buses are from Toho High School and that 75 students were on board both buses. The Osceola County School District says no one is hurt. We'll continue to follow the story very closely. As we get more information, we'll pass it along to you here on air and online at WESH.com.
Still ahead, new action is being taken in a disturbing case.
Yeah, that case involves a teenager who investigators say was molested before overdosing on drugs. Who that teen's mother is now going after.
And theories have surrounded Jeffrey Epstein's death. Now at least one forensic expert is backing those theories. Why he feels the evidence is more in line with the homicide.
And the same business in a local mall keeps getting hit by burglars. They've made off with quite a bit of merchandise so far. The new video police are hoping will help them solve this case. Next.
The two most important things you need in the morning. The now and the next. WESH 2 First Alert Weather and Traffic.
A couple of crashes out there.
Traffic reporter Jacqueline D'Agostino shows you the now.
From where it's slow to where you can go.
In the next 12 hours,
Meteorologist Amy Sweezy predicts the next.
From sunny skies to drenching downpours.
First Alert Weather and Traffic together on WESH 2 News Sunrise and on the WESH 2 app.
3 burglaries in just over a month. Police in Daytona Beach say the same jewelry business in the Volusia Mall has been hit 3 times since November.
And as WESH 2's Claire Metz reports, how the crooks are getting into the mall is still a mystery. Let's go ahead and pause from your headlines and talk about this weather. Let's get into it because this morning it was a little chilly and you would have thought it would have been a cooler day, but you walk outside later and it's amazing outside.
Yeah, it's so nice.
It's amazing the difference between being in the shade and the sun. Is even, even right now. I mean, it's 72 degrees, but you're in the shade. It feels a little cooler with that, with the breeze out of the west.
It still feels nice, Tom.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm not going to argue with you. This is the time of the year we love to be outside right now. Crystal clear skies here. Front's dropping on in, so it's going to actually be a few degrees cooler tomorrow than today. We'll be holding there in the mid to the upper 60s across central Florida, and we still have that risk for some more frost in Marion County as the winds will subside after midnight. Beautiful day. Hope you had the chance to get out there, maybe take the little ones out for a little stroll this afternoon. Maybe Summer did that. As we take a look now at the winds out of the west, about 12 miles an hour. Little disturbance going by, bringing snow towards the Appalachian Mountains there, but for us, front's going to kind of squeak on through overnight tonight. As we get you into Thursday and Friday, notice the red arrows, a little bit of a warming trend, maybe a brief sprinkle south of Stewart there Friday, heading south and east, but a lot of runners are going to be running this week, especially with the Disney Marathon weekend in play. Beginning on Thursday, we have the 5K. Gorgeous, perfect weather for the runners. Look at that, 6:30, right around 51 degrees. How about Friday for the 10K? A little bit bigger distance there, 61, 60, 60. Clouds and comfy at 7 o'clock in the morning. Let's take a look now at your updated 7-day forecast. 69 jumping up to 76, near 80 on Friday. An isolated coastal sprinkle possible late in the day. Head into the weekend, it is going to feel like spring. Better chance for rain on Sunday, and no sign of cooler weather for the beginning of next week. More races this weekend. Those forecasts straight ahead.
All right, Tony, sounds good. Okay, if you saw the 4 yesterday, you'll remember that a whale and her calf were coming up for air.
Chopper 2 caught those incredible moments, but still ahead, the warning to others who may try to get too close.
Plus, ovarian cancer has a habit of coming back, but there's something new that might be able to change that likelihood. We've got the details next. You're watching WESH News at 4.
WESH 2 First Alert Traffic with Jacqueline D'Agostino. Getting you through jams like only a Central Florida native can. First Alert Traffic, only on WESH 2.
Get First Alert Traffic on the go with the free WESH 2 app.
The charges against Harvey Weinstein have now doubled.
But first, his lawyers have to get through his actual trial in New York. How they want things handled now that more charges have been filed on the West Coast as well.
A teen with autism died from a drug overdose, and a local man is accused in the case. The new action the boy's mother is taking against that suspect. That's next on WESH 2 News at 4.
WESH 2 traffic is driven by Toyota of Orlando and Toyota of Claremont.
WESH 2 News continues.
It has been 6 months since a Lake County man was charged in connection with the death of a teenager with autism.
Investigators said the teen was molested and then died of a drug overdose. WESH 2's Michelle Meredith reports the teen's mom is now taking her own legal action against the suspect. The Trump administration is adding fresh perspective today on the deadly drone strike that killed a top Iranian general. But is it enough to justify acting without approval from Congress? NBC's Alice Barr explains Democrats don't seem to think so.
All right, we showed you a pretty cool sight yesterday on WESH 2 News at 4. Chopper 2 caught a whale and her calf coming up for air.
And some others also saw the spectacle with the help from drones. But right whales are endangered, so if you get too close, you can get fined. The Florida Fish and Wildlife has a 500-yard rule, which applies to watercraft and aircraft, including drones. And those fines can be up to thousands of dollars. So we want to be very clear here. Chopper 2 was well over 500 feet away from these whales. But I still can't get over this shot. It was just so cool to see.
Yeah, not to be forgotten easily.
No.
Beautiful.
Still ahead, local deputies make an arrest in an animal cruelty case.
Yeah, they say the horrible act was actually caught on video, and weeks later, they say they've now caught that suspect.
Plus, sick and tired of the robocalls? Well, how about getting paid for them? We'll explain how it works next on WESH 2 News at 4.
Three words, the most accurate. And only one Central Florida weather team can claim it. That's right, WESH 2 First Alert Weather. Most accurate, now for 12 years straight. Certified, verified, undenied. Who else can say that? No one. Because accuracy matters. Rely on Tony, Amy, and the WESH 2 First Alert Weather Team. Local, live, late breaking.
Shocking video posted on social media shows a local high school student picking up a stray cat by its tail and hurling it across a parking lot.
As WESH 2's Amanda Dukes reports that 19-year-old student is now facing felony charges.
All right, if you are fed up with robocallers trying to sell you something, you can turn those calls around for some cash. Here's the deal. Experts say you can sue robocallers for breaking the Telephone Consumer Protection Act. If you're not on the national do not call list, you can get up to $500, or if you are on it, rather, that number jumps to $15,000 if you are.
All of the information about the patterns and practices of their business can end up in a public forum, which could draw the unwanted scrutiny of federal organizations like Federal Trade Commission or the Federal Communications Commission.
All right, the point isn't for collection settlements, it's to stop the calls, and is only specific to robocalls to your cell phone, not landlines. But boy, they're annoying, right?
In the last 47 minutes that we've been on air, I've gotten 3.
I've gotten 2, so.
We need to look into this.
We do.
We need to. It's
make some
so
money, Tony.
Does it come up as scam on your phones, just out of curiosity?
Potential spam, I think is what it pops up as.
I have a Droid, so maybe that's why. We're not going to go there. Let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about the weather, Tony.
The weather is beautiful outside.
It is, and it's going to be fantastic tomorrow. A little cool in the morning, and if you're taking the youngsters out for a little walk tomorrow, perfect day to do that. A few clouds now back towards the coast there, over towards Cocoa and over towards Titusville and on towards Port Canaveral, where the temperature right now is 70 degrees. Wind coming in out of the west-northwest as a front is approaching up to our north. And this is just going to kind of freshen up the cool temperatures here in Central Florida. If you really want cold air, there's plenty of that here across the Great Lakes and the Northeast. Showers around on Saturday. Front kind of washes on out along Interstate 10 on Sunday, but we'll still have the chance for a couple of showers once again on Sunday. Disney Marathon weekend, half marathon kicking off at 5:30 in the morning. Mid-60s here. No mention of any rain at that juncture of the day. And we will have a few showers around for the marathon as we get you on into Sunday. But the temperatures will be warm. A little more humidity. We'll be running in the mid to the upper 60s. So get out and enjoy Wednesday and Thursday. We get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Feeling like spring, 80 to 85 degrees. And we stay warm right through next week as that front is unable to make it in to Central Florida.
All right, Tony, thank you. Okay, so one set of twins, already a big deal.
Yeah, but now imagine going through that process twice in the same year. Hear one Florida woman talk about what we can only describe as an incredible experience next on WESH 2 News at 4. Oh, yeah. One South Florida mom is seeing double Again.
She had her second set of twins in 1 year. Check this out. Alexandria Walston says she did not know twins ran in her family. In March, she gave birth to her first set of twins, Mark and Malachi. Then just 2 months later, doctors returned with another surprise, saying she was having a second set of twins. Last month, she welcomed Kaylin and Caleb into the world. She says she recently learned both her grandmothers lost twins at birth.
I always say that I feel like my grandmothers gave me their kids, because 2 sets of twins and their twins passed away. I feel like they just sent them down for me.
Absolutely. Caleb was brought home from the NICU on Monday. She's now hoping that Kaylin can join her family soon. Look how cute they are.
She's going to have her hands full.
Oh, tell me about it. 4? Oh, my God. I can't even.
Smiles. Those smiles.
It's worth it. It's worth it. She's the MVP for real, though.
WESH News at 5 is straight ahead.
Stuart Moore joins us now with what's coming up in the next hour. Stu?
4 under 2. Wow. Hey, he spent years on death row for murder he did not commit. Now a free man, the former inmate wants the Seminole County Sheriff's Office held accountable. What his legal team had to say after filing that lawsuit in court. And violent shaking continued today on the island of Puerto Rico. Dozens of structures damaged. 1 person died. Our team has reached out to folks on the island. Plus, he's accused of pulling her by the hair and knocking down a pregnant woman. Now a local cop is facing charges. Details next.
I'm Gary Bosses with Orlando Dodge. The WESH 2 Tower Cam network is sponsored by Orlando Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Orlando on West Colonial Drive, or find your new ride online at orlandododge.com.